Hello, this is Linda Vettrus-Nichols, and do I have an amazing person to introduce to you, Lisa Gable. Welcome, Lisa.
Well, it's great to be with you.
Yeah. Okay, so trust your instincts. Lisa, what comes up for you when you think about those words? Trust your instincts.
Well, as you show here on the slide, I think that we sometimes doubt ourselves and we doubt our ability to analyze what's going on around us. It may be how we are working with another individual, or it might be how we're perceiving shifts that are going on in our community. But the reality is, you actually know what the answer is. You really do. And so trusting your instincts is knowing that your decisions in your first way that you're feeling about something may indeed be the correct answer.
Yeah, especially when you start second guessing yourself. What was the first gut hit I got on that? Yeah, absolutely. And we do. We know the answers, and then we go into like the self-doubt. So yeah. And knowing the answers is getting in touch with knowing yourself. So it's never too late or never too early or too late to work towards being who you really are and getting in touch with that. So I love that. Um, and then when it comes to two paths, oh, I love that because that's based on yes and no. Is that correct?
It really is. I work off of decision trees, and I even use decision trees in my life, which is that you have a starting point. You know that there's a path you have to follow, and that the majority of times the path is yes, and then that leads you to one set of answers, or the path is
Okay.
no, and it leads you to another set. And as long as you have a clear vision as to what your personal end game is, then there should be clarity in making those decisions.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, sort of the metrics around which those decisions are made. I mean, let's talk about it at a personal level. Your yes and no may be related to the fact that you need to spend more time with your family, and so you may be saying no to something, even though that might be an activity that would be a career enhancer.
Yeah.
We throughout our lives are forced into a yes no path, and as you started off earlier, is that your gut's telling you the right direction to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hadn't heard of decision trees. I love that concept. I do the mind mapping like with the bubble. Okay, here's Lisa. She's in the center. Okay, Lisa, what's the one thing that's like the most important to you? And that becomes another bubble and then things come off of that bubble and it works out really well, especially for people who are just they just love doing a whole bunch of different things. It helps them to like prioritize those things. And I definitely needed to be doing something like that myself. And so when I help somebody else doing it, each time we do it, the bubbles get less and less and less, and they get a lot clearer on what it is that they really want, and their decision making skills just increase like grease lightning, like boom boom boom, like they can so easily make a decision like you were saying, because if you know the direction you're headed, then the decisions just become super easy. So I love that. Okay, and then pivot when it feels right. Your book Turnaround, how to change course when things are going south, right? It's like a perfect segue into pivot when it feels right.
We start our lives, at least I think type A people start our lives having this vision as to what our life is going to be and how we're going to lead it. And I tell the story about an old boyfriend that I had that sort of presented me with his game plan for his life. And it also included elected office after being CEO of a family company. And he pointed out how I fit very well into the vision he had for his life. Well, obviously, I didn't agree because he's not the person I married. But I think what happens is life happens. And so you can zig and zag towards where you want to go. The world is changing so rapidly today that I think that it helps to have a vision as to what you want your life to be, the impact that you want to have, where you see your greatest opportunity. But at the same time, you have to zig and zag, which means you have to pivot. And we had to do it over and over and over again in COVID. As leaders, we would make decisions, and yet something would happen within the supply chain, or
Yeah.
employees would get sick, or money would be short, and we were constantly having to pivot while keeping our eye on what we ultimately wanted to achieve. And I think it applies to life too.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, because it is like make a decision and then let go of the decision. Like know the outcome you want. You also get to let go of the outcome. And that makes it so much easier to pivot and to not like get all caught up in emotions as well. So thank you so much, Lisa. This has been great.